What's up, everyone? This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say off of these videos. I just do it for pure entertainment purposes only. Jumping in on a Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Um, Before we jump into the stock market stuff, I lost my mother last year around this time. So if you've ever lost a parent, you know that's kind of one of those crazy things. Like you're good one day and sad the next day. Any little song or any little memory can trigger something. But we're just grateful, that we've had that time with your mom. So happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your moms if you still got them. But now back into the AMC talk. I know it gets a lot of people not a lot of people, but I get some people that get kind of, for some reason, upset when I speak about AMC. I understand that some people are way in over their head. I've had a couple people talk about having $100,000, $300,000 just swiped away, and it's in the negative, and that is a lot of money, and I get it. But it kind of goes hand in hand. If you're in the market, you've always got to never invest more than you're willing to lose. And I don't want to sound like a prick, sensitive that you've lost so much money or that you're in the red so much. So I get it. It would suck. It's just one of the biggest rules. So I think if you're playing with that much, you would probably already know that you can't invest more than you're willing to lose. So moving forward, I get a lot of people that say, well, why not speak about GME, or why don't you hold GME instead of this trash stock AMC? And I'm thinking, like, I hold both. Why can't you have both? I have multiple stocks. But as far as the meme basket, it's GameStop and AMC. GameStop, I was a little behind on. GameStop, for a while there, I was doing what I guess the smart move was, is just getting in and out, riding the wave. You know what I mean? Making a couple $100 a month off of it, basically. If you kind of followed GameStop or AMC long enough, the algorithms are similar. You're in the red for a long fucking time, and then you pop up for green for like a day. You know what I mean? Pull your profits, let the wash sell rule take place, jump back in and do the same thing. But I wasn't making enough money, that I thought was justified. So what I'm doing is building it up. If I get to the point where I see a few $1,000s and I think it's worth pulling it out, I'll pull it out. If not, I'll gauge it from there. If I see like a MOAS type deal, which I believe GameStop and AMC still both have potential to make a decent squeeze. So, it is what it is. I think, sorry, ambulance driving by, I had to pull over. But I don't think it's ridiculous to believe that there's still squeezes on the table. We went through a weird time. The whole stock market's been crazy. So a lot of people have jumped in since COVID. Like, it's not a normal stock market. It's been very up and down. And I guess that's normal for the stock market to go up and down, but it's just been very volatile. But I do think if you zoom out consistently, the market in general does consistently go upward. Yes, there's stocks and plays that go bankrupt or don't do shit, or probably never will. But that comes with experience and time in the market. You're going to learn which plays you're going to want to be in and which plays you don't want to be in. So that being said, I understand the argument that AMC and GME or whatever. GME, obviously, I mean, I'm looking at my GME shares compared to my AMC shares. I've got way less, and my GameStop is way up, and my AMC is still way down. That doesn't mean I think nothing's going to happen with it. I still believe that the stock price is undervalued, in my personal opinion. I don't understand. I guess I shouldn't say I don't understand, but I don't see why it should remain at this amount in the coming quarters. I mean, you got a lot of movies coming out, a lot of good things happening. They're showing they're pulling profit now from merchandise. There's going to be profit from candy, popcorn. They're doing the distribution. There's credit cards. All those little things are all going to add up. Obviously, the core of AMC was and is movies. There was a long funk, man. I'm telling you, since COVID, movies have not been the same. It's been rough. I never believed that they'd ever fully disappear or go away, but there was some questionable movies out there, and Hollywood just wasn't, releasing them. I think, obviously streaming is a craze, and there's a lot of actors and movies, even like look at someone like Adam Sandler. They're all Netflix movies that come out, but there's going to be new movies. Think about movies like Minecraft or Thunderbolts or Moana, like those type of movies that come out in the theaters. They're always going to pack a house. Kids are going to want to go. And you're going to see more and more of that coming out again, in my personal opinion. So, I think going forward, realistically, to believe that this stock will stay at $2 to $3 is not accurate. This is my personal opinion. Even if you didn't believe in any MOAS or any squeeze, I think it would just be a good buy. And I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I would think, in my personal opinion, it would be a good buy just because it's got potential to move upward a lot. So if you eliminate a squeeze out of this whole scenario, then let's just say, realistically, the stock hits $20, and your average is $4 or $5, and you've got 1,000 shares, a few thousand shares. That's pretty good money. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not life-changing money. What a lot of people are in here for the MOAS, and if you delve deep and dive into the rabbit hole and start looking at all the shit that a lot of us believe is happening, then you do believe that a MOAS is possible, and you have a few thousand shares and it hits $500, $600, $700, $800 a share, $1,000 a share. Then we're talking generational wealth, life-changing money. Will it ever happen? I don't know. I believe it's possible, but there's a lot of moving parts involved with this stock, a lot of moving parts involved with the market in general. So you just have to take it into consideration. You have to kind of look how the market's moving, look how the economy's moving, and there's just so much to it, But I don't believe that anything has been completely wiped off the table. I think that there's a lot of grit still there. They put a tablecloth over it and the dirt's still under it. You know what I mean? So you take that tablecloth off, there's going to be some potential for some large moves. Now, I'm not one of those guys that believes the MOAS is going to hit $10, $12, $13, $14,000. I just don't think that would happen. I would fucking love it, but I just don't think it's possible. I do think it's possible to see upper hundreds, lower thousands if everything was just covered and it just, I know it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but you look at GameStop. Who thought that was going to happen? Everyone thought everyone in GameStop was crazy. I remember back in those days talking about it, and people were like, fuck, GameStop's worthless, it's trash, they're in debt, they're not going to do anything. Same type of words that are being said about AMC. You got a bunch of middle-aged know-it-all motherfuckers in here, you know what I mean? So, and as men, there's a lot of men, us grown-ass men that think we know it all. We're just going to butt heads and talk shit and insult each other and talk shit more and more until something happens, and then all of us, then there's the other side to come out like, I told you so. It's just gonna happen. When it happens, that's, people are just gonna debate and talk shit. It is what it is. I have AMC, I have GameStop, I have S&P 500, I have safe plays, I have wild plays, I have Purple Pepe, I have Bitcoin, a very large amount of different cryptos, very large amount of different, I don't know what's going on in the comments. You should just kind of scroll through. What's up, everyone? Someone said movies have been bad for 20 years. Probably I would have to disagree with that. Never believe a Sox fan when they go the ball after the hip. Listen, this is more of just a hat. I own a hat store, so I needed something that matched up. I actually ordered like way too many Sox hats, so I grabbed one off the shelf. I'm not saying I'm a Sox fan or a Sox hater. The one thing about baseball is you can rock any hat. Like, I know dudes that'll wear a Yankees and a Red Sox hat. When it comes to football, it's like unwritten rule. You just can't wear any other team but your own team. I tried it once. Didn't work out good. What's up? The legend in the house. Yeah, but, I mean, and also, you look at, like, man, it's almost exhausting kind of saying the same thing over and over. But you look at plays that have popped in recent time. GameStop. You look at Tesla. Those are two right there that I remember being involved very lightly, and I wish I was in a lot more. I'd be a gazillionaire and I wouldn't be on YouTube talking shit. I'd probably be on a beach somewhere getting rubbed down by fucking Brazilian. Never mind, I'm married. I'd been getting rubbed down by my wife in Brazil. But you know, I remember the same type of conversation going on with those, like, oh, they ain't shit, you're idiots if you're in there, that type of shit. So, you know, if you believe in your play and you have conviction in your play, you're not going to listen to the outsiders. You do what you, I'll just say this, do your own research, know what you want out of it, and go from there. I don't care if you sell, buy, hold, it's your money, you do what you want with it. I'm just telling you what I do, what I'm doing, what I'm holding for. It is what it is, you know what I mean? Just you gotta, I don't know. There's this, you know, and a lot of motherfuckers think I'm crazy because I do talk about instinctual trades. You know, that's the name of the channel. I gotta, it's a wifey's watching, but I do gotta, I don't know. There's been several plays that I've just instinctually jumped in. I got in on GH. I don't know if you've heard of that one, or Yext, or, you know, and I've alerted on some of these, URGN or Purple Pepe, some of those that I just like had an instinctual feeling about. I did very minimal DD, and I didn't go off emotion, but I just played it off of my fucking third eye right up here into the middle of the O. Look at it, it's looking at you. But yeah, that's it, man. I just feel like AMC and GME, everyone's trying to pit you guys against each other, and it's like, for what? For why? Like, you can't have both. Like, you can't like both stocks. I fucking like both stocks. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the baseball hat we're just talking about. I can wear a Sox hat today, and who the fuck is the White Sox rival? I don't even know. But let's say it's the Rockies. I'll wear a Colorado Rockies hat tomorrow. Philadelphia Phillies the next day. Well, that's not a good analogy because I just talked about football. You can't wear opposing teams, but you know what I'm saying. It's just, you can like both, you can hold both. You don't have to, I don't know. You do what you want to do. I've just gone on here and started ranting. I thought I was going to come over here and fucking change some lives with some educational purposes, but I realized that I am an idiot. It's true. You should not follow my financial advice because it is not financial advice. Got to be careful what you say on this shit. People will be taking your words out of context. But yeah, I just want to jump in, man. I think that this week coming up, it's going to be an interesting week, to say the least. I know that one thing I've learned over the years of trading is 95 to 96.7% of the time, whatever anyone, like the crowd thinks is going to happen, the opposite happens. So you start, you know, it's like the saying I've heard before. You buy when there's fear and sell when there's greed. So that's it. Hopefully you guys are all successful. Hopefully everyone is making money. And if you're losing money at the point where it's just no good, just fucking back up, reevaluate, educate yourself in this shit. If an idiot like me can make money in the stock market, any one of y'all can. It doesn't take a fucking genius, you know. And I know that there's people out there with all these extra computers and algorithms and scientific mathematics and shit, and there's this me just fucking scratching my ass in the morning, pushing sell and making $100. You know what I mean? So hey, maybe if I was a scientific mathematician with a fucking wizard hat, and maybe I'd be making $5 million a day, but I'm happy with my $100. You know what I mean? Shit. But that's all I'm saying. If someone like me can trade and make money, any one of y'all can. I know a lot of you are probably way more book smart than I am. So it is what it is. If you're losing money in the market, pull back. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying, pull back. Look at the long run of these stocks, because I can almost guarantee anyone who's losing money in the market is because they're selling in the red, because they're stressed out, they've put too much in, or they're just sick of looking at red, you know, and you want to feel like a winner, so you sell at a loss, then you buy back in just so it looks green on your screen. Don't do that shit, you know. Not financial advice. I'm just saying, it's just not a good. Remember the wash sell rule too, man. That's two big things. You know, you don't lose your money if you don't sell. Unless they go bankrupt and they take your money, then there's that little indiscretion. But I'm just saying, man. I gotta get some gas. I gotta go fucking mow the lawn. Wifey probably is watching, and she's gonna be like, motherfucker, you ain't doing no yard work. It's Mother's Day. You over here talking about AMC and GME again. I had to sneak off to talk about this shit. I'm telling you, my family's tired of hearing about this shit. One of these days, it'll pay off. I'll have a fucking autonomous robot mowing my lawn. A little fucking Tesla robot out there weed eating and shit. But until then, I gotta go. Have a good day. Be blessed. Let's get rich soon. Peace.